It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Benning, and I will be your host for this absolutely invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I would like to thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the podcast. I am just so very grateful for each and every one of you. And you are all in for an amazing, amazing show today, as I have with me a brand new diva. Her name is Lydia, and probably more of you know her as Lady Apana. And I am just overly excited today to have her with me. And her and I are going to chat about the Divinity of Horses. Oh my, is it going to be a very special show. Lydia, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Well, absolutely. It's just a true honor and pleasure to be on your show today, Joyce. I'm a Renaissance woman and high-performance wellness coach, founder of AponaHealing.com, and I bring together 30 years of my passion, expertise, and wisdom in holistic healing in pathways for every stage of personal development to help you heal, grow, and evolve and live a centered, connected, and conscious life. At my Epona Healing Ranch, I offer equine-assisted therapy and equine healing retreats to help you return to wholeness through heart-centered, transformational relationships with horses. I find that equine healing retreats are a very powerful way to help you reclaim your health and regain your energy and connect with your inner power. And what we do at Epona Healing Ranch is we design the retreat specifically for the needs of each person or group. So we offer private, group, and corporate retreats. And I began my journey with horses through dreams. Horses started coming to me in dreams. And at the age of 10, I consciously started my path of personal development when I was starting to heal my chronic illnesses that I had from birth. And it was through the connection with horses, animals, and nature that I was able to go deep within myself on this incredible healing journey to heal my chronic health conditions and connect with the divinity of horses.
Oh, wow. What a story. Oh, girl. So since 10 years old, you have had this connection to the horses coming to you in your dreams. Oh, that is just beautiful. Oh, I love that. Wow. Well, that goes right into our topic today on the divinity of horses. They have always been, when I think of divinity, I think of a sacred soul, a sacred spirit, something in that form. And as you talk about them coming to you in dreams, in a sister of horses, beautiful. So how did this all come about that you started to realize at the age of 10 that you were going in deeper and having this connection through these beautiful dreams that you were having? Could you share with our listeners a little bit of that experience as we talk about the divinity of horses?
Well, absolutely. At the age of 10, many spirits came to me in dreams and guided me to different books and different pathways for my own healing because my chronic illnesses were difficult to diagnose. And for anybody that has a difficult to diagnose health condition, it can be a very lonely and frustrating experience. But I always knew where there was a will, there was a way. And it was through the messages from the divine that I was guided to my pathways. But it wasn't until my late 20s when I was in what I call my cocoon of healing, when I decided to finally finally resolve, right, these ongoing chronic health conditions, that I had a dream telling me I was a sister of horses. But, at the time, I was so immersed in just surviving, right, like physically surviving and emotionally and financially surviving, that I just wrote it down and went off and did my laundry, and made dinner. And I wasn't a person that yearned to be with horses. I loved animals and horses, but the horses recognized me before I recognized who I was myself. They activated my heart and connection to my soul to help me remember who I was and to help guide me very gently, but very persistently. There was a time in my late 20s in that cocoon of healing where they came to me every night in dreams. And then I met, shortly, about 10 years later, I had dreams about a horse that I was going to meet. And I ended up meeting that horse, I guess, by chance, but it wasn't really by chance, through divine guidance, at a horse trail, like a trail riding place. And I talk about my experience meeting that horse Trigger in my soon-to-be released chapter, The Divinity of Horses, in the book Evolving on Purpose, Co-Creating with the Divine, and how that horse Trigger, his name was Trigger, but he triggered me, right, to actually change my whole life and help humans heal through my holistic healing work. I started my holistic healing practice through the guidance of my spirit guides and the divine horses that came to me in dreams. And then I started my horse rescue sanctuary. So their presence is more real. Their spiritual presence is more real, than in the material world. And they're such highly evolved divine beings that I really believe we should consciously honor and take action to support them in every way.
Oh, I truly agree with that. They are true divine souls. And how when you were talking about how Trigger changed your life, when you said his name was Trigger, I thought, oh my, what a fitting name. He triggered you into changing your whole life and going into your healing practice and into the horse sanctuary and honoring these horses for what they are, because they are a divine spirit and soul. And I always say, when you open your heart to them, it is amazing what will happen. And it sounds to me, from your experience with Trigger, you opened your heart to him and how your world changed from there. Oh, that is just beautiful, Lydia. I love that.
Well, it's so humbling. I mean, it's so powerful and so humbling, and we connect with energies and a capacity that we didn't even know either existed or knew that we were capable of. When we're supported, we are always supported by the divine, but when we're conscious of that support, we release fear and anxiety and overwhelm and have the courage to step into a greater version of ourselves. And as I mentioned, sometimes we don't even know the path and the joy that's awaiting us. But when we can connect with the divine, we have that trust and faith and feeling of inner security that I can take one more step forward and I can connect with my highest and best self, and then support others, in doing that in whatever way, each person feels called to do so. But the presence of horses in our lives and on the planet, horses are, they're so highly evolved angelic beings that they meet you where you're at. So they don't expect more of you than what you're ready for. And so some people call that dumbing down, but it's more a matter of them being able to tune into you and honor you, and then support you where you're at, and then help you grow and heal and evolve. And that's been my experience with horses. I continue to have dreams of horses, and every horse that comes to the Horse Rescue Sanctuary I'm told about by my ascended horses in dreams. sometimes I'm not logically ready. Like, I haven't built that new pasture yet, I haven't, but they keep you moving forward. They keep you growing, but at a pace that honors you. And it's really a phenomenal gift to have a relationship with the Divinity of Horses.
Oh, yes. Oh, I agree with you because, oh my, how you were talking about how they meet you where you are at. And I see that so much in my own horses. And the other thing that comes to my mind when you said that, they do not judge you. They love you for who you are. They pass no judgment on to you. And they're there to help you in every way. They're so heart-centered. Their hearts are so big. They're just giving all the time. It's just amazing. But I love that because that is the total experience I have had with my three. Each one has met me in a different way, and it's incredibly beautiful. And how I'll say something to one horse, and they all know it. I mean, they're so connected to each other too. Just like you said, your horses that you have gotten at the sanctuary have come to you from the ones that have crossed over, have ascended, and come through your dreams. And that is just beautiful too, because like I said, it just amazes me. You talk to one and they all know what's going on. I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys are just so connected. I've always thought what a beautiful world this would be if we could meet people where they're at and not pass the judgment on to them like our horses do with us. It is incredibly beautiful. I love that.
Well, that's exactly it. And as we all know, the Heart Math Institute did that classic study where they measured the electromagnetic field of a horse's heart, and it's 5 times larger than that of a human. Mm-hmm. So just standing beside horses, we don't have to always do something with them, just being. We're human beings, and learning to be in our own presence, to be still with the horses, is an incredible gift that it can be quite challenging, for humans who often they'll come here, whether it's a volunteer or on a retreat, and say, well, what are we going to do? And that's great to have equine therapy that, where you do activities with horses. But here we enter into the stillness and with the horses and into the oneness with the horses. And it's a different type of gift, but it activates your core energy, your connection with your spirit. And so just standing beside horses. And exactly as you said, when I'm doing Reiki with one horse, the other horses often come around and they will release some of the tension, or if there's any kind of buildup of energy, often as the horse I'm treating does. So they'll breathe out and, they'll make little comments or like little neighs or something. And it's a whole symphony, a presence. And I've had phenomenal experiences, spiritual experiences with horses. I was helping one of my horses heal who had a leg injury, and we would lay down together under the stars at night, and I would channel Reiki to her, and then she would go into a trance, and where our bodies just dissolved into oneness. And then the other horses would come around. They first check out, make sure you're okay because you're lying down. And then they participate. They'll put their head, like their nose on my top of my crown chakra when I'm channeling energy to the other horse laying down. And then my horse laying down, if I fell asleep during the Reiki, she would look at me. I'd wake up with her face, like, are you ready to get up yet? I'm waiting for you to get up so I can get up, right? So the level of intelligence and spiritual mastery, we're just discovering. And as you said, horses have always been humanity's greatest ally, guide, friend. They fought in wars. They helped us create agriculture. We still measure things in horsepower. We would not have the comforts and conveniences of our modern world today without the support, the unconditional love and the huge sacrifices that horses have made for humans.
Oh, that is so true. And the unconditional love, they just give it all the time. That is what is so beautiful, too. And when you were talking about being in the presence, which you do at your, with horses on horse therapy and things, and us humans, a lot of times, we think we need to come with an agenda. And it's like,
right.
Okay, I had one of my horses tell me one day, come with no agenda. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh, wow. Isn't that beautiful? Just no agenda and no cell phone is what they all said. Don't come with your cell phones. Leave them away.
So true.
And I just love that. And the one has totally taught me to live in the present moment. And that's what you said, to be present, to be there with them, and just stand with them. Just stand in the stillness and the oneness. And that's what's so beautiful. And they love that. I mean, they're there as a divine spiritual soul to be there to help us humans to heal in so many different ways. And their love just keeps coming. And like you said, when you were laying with the horse, and if you fell asleep and would wake up, they didn't try to get up till you were awake and were like, okay, is it time? Can we get up now?
I'd wake up with these big eyes, like, anytime you're ready, I'd like to get up.
Oh, that is just beautiful.
And there's so many. I have so many stories where, you just go out to do the basic farm work and feed them, and you have this powerful spiritual experience without planning it, as you said, with no agenda. And to be able to even take, 5 minutes, right, to assimilate that. And what we want to do is we want to bring those experiences that we have with the horses and integrate it into our state of being, because they're just helping us remember who we are. As I mentioned, as a human being, we're already highly evolved spiritual beings who are here on the planet to support each other, to be what I call humane, conscious stewards of life. And so they help us remember who we are, to ignite, not only activate our heart, but to ignite our inner power of oneness. It's not power over, it's power within and power of connection. And so that is the gift, that horses, every horse, on this planet, I call a pillar of light. So everywhere there's a horse standing somewhere, whether it's a wild horse, a domestic horse, a horse in another country, this is a channeler. This is a great pillar of light, raising the vibration for all of us. And the least we can do is honor them. Yes.
Oh, how true. To honor them and I love what you said about them being a pillar of light. And that is so true. They are truly a pillar of light. And to honor them for what they bring to this world, and like bringing us, you had said earlier, a greater version into ourselves. And these horses do that in so many ways. And I totally agree with you. It is past time, and we need to honor these horses for everything that they have done over all the lifetimes and everything they have brought to this world, and how they keep coming. They just keep giving that unconditional love. And it is just so beautiful. But I love that about horses being a pillar of light, because that is so true. They are just totally a pillar of light in my life, in my heart, in my soul, in everything. And that light shines so bright. They are such a spiritual being. It's incredible when you open your heart to them. They will just give and give and give.
Well, they do. And, we look at horses who incarnate into very difficult circumstances on Earth, and I've thought a lot about that. And what I can conclude, and I just in my own capacity of consciousness at this moment, is that they have the courage and the strength to hold light in that space where they're at, in that darkness, right, in that difficult situation. And that is never for naught, right? That is always helping the people around that horse or those horses to shift, And I always say, horses, as you said, they don't complain. And I remember a vet once said to me, she has a lot of her own horses. She said, well, they never complain, it's hard they hide their pain, right, so well, right?
Yes.
That sometimes it's hard. They don't always tell you what they need in terms, like a dog barking or something, right? Or my cat will meow incessantly, right, when she wants something. Right? But they're constantly in a deep state of presence to help awaken the souls of the humans that they've come to the earth to support. And it's the most courageous of souls who come into the darkest of places to bring light into those places. And horses are these angelic beings who have come both in beautiful experiences of light and love and in the darker places that we're all working to transform into higher vibration and into light. And I always like to say, if humans loved horses the way horses love humans, there would be peace and abundance on earth.
Yes, yes. Oh, that was beautiful. Yes, I agree totally with you because their love is just so unconditional and it just keeps on going and going and going. Even what they have dealt with horses have different humans that they deal with throughout their life. I have one that came from rough handlers is how I will state it. But he came with love to me. And he has done nothing but give that love. He's not going back and holding anybody responsible for what his past was. And he reminds me of the courage and strength. And he held light through all of that. And then when he came into my life, how he held the light and held his love right out there for me. So yes, that was just beautiful. And then being angelic beings, that is so true. They are totally angelic beings. Oh, I love that. If we could only love them as much as they love us, what a beautiful, beautiful world this would be. How true this is.
And so much suffering of humans and horses and animals and so much unnecessary hardship could dissolve.
Right.
We have struggles to create resistance to help us grow. But there are some struggles and some experiences that take so long to recover from that I think we've evolved as humanity. I think we are evolving quite rapidly, right, as we go forward and the high vibration of the planet. But we have evolved to the point where we may not need to have such extreme suffering anymore. And maybe it's time for us to let go of that and embrace the possibility of actually living in inner ease and peace. It doesn't mean everything will be easy, but if we can live more in an inner ease and peace without the severity of the hardships of the past 13,000 years, according to the cycles, energetic cycles of the planet. And we are shifting from 13,500 years of lower vibration into the next 13,000 years of light, which will really come to the planet in 2100 when the North Star aligns with the North Poles. So, the ancients always said it was living at this time on Earth, is it's an honor, but it's also the greatest challenge of the universe because we're shifting from an old paradigm to a new paradigm and integrating, healing, releasing, creating anew, all in this lifetime, which is pretty amazing. And the horses are here to help us do that. And are fully aware of what's going on. And as you mentioned, horses will have fear and trauma based on their experiences, but when they're given a chance to release and decompress and be in a safe, loving space, their capacity to love just continues. I mean, I was just speaking with one of my horses that has some past trauma. He came over. His new girlfriend, who's a wild Mustang. He's a city boy, and he was a prize hunter jumper, and he fell in love with her wild Mustang. So the city boy and the country girl, and it's very rare he leaves her. And he came over, and I just knew he wanted me to talk about and have a session with him about helping him release his trauma. And sometimes they'll start to shake, as they release their own trauma. It's very powerful. And it's the only time in my holistic healing work where I actually feel the energy. It's not something I do with human clients. I don't absorb the energy when I do Reiki with my human clients. But for some reason with the horses, I feel it's okay. And they do. I mean, horses who've gone through a lot do have deep trauma, but they're looking for every opportunity to heal and release and then love you. They never reject an opportunity to improve themselves, their life, right? Their quality of life.
Right. Oh, yes. Oh, how very true that is. Oh, my goodness. Well, Lydia, as I knew this show has gone so very quickly. I cannot believe we have been chatting. It feels like we just barely started chatting, and we've almost come to the end of our show, and I'm like, oh, my. Would you please share with our listeners the best way to connect with you when they listen to this show and go, I want to connect with Lydia, Lady Epona?
The best way is to sign up for my newsletter on eponahealing.com. That's APONA healing.com. And we send out a newsletter. I try once a week, but sometimes it's once a month. and I do the best I can with that. And in the newsletter, I have announcements and and updates and things happening at the ranch and in my holistic health practice. And also I share quite a bit on Facebook, my personal page, and the Epona Healing Ranch Facebook page. So those are two places that on social media. I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn, but I'm most active on my personal Facebook page.
Okay. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, fantastic. And Lydia, I must ask, I have loved chatting with you so much and sharing all your knowledge with our listeners. Will you please come back and be on my show again in the very, very near future?
Oh, Joyce, it would be an honor and pleasure. You do phenomenal work. You're so committed to supporting the healing of women and the planet and animals, and you're a very special angel of light that has a phenomenal mission that's making a huge difference in the world. So I'm very honored, Joyce, to be here today with you and to continue to help and support humanity grow and heal and evolve in future discussions.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for those beautiful, kind words. You brought tears to my eyes. Thank you so much, Lydia. And we will definitely connect again and have you back on the show. And you and all your horses have a very magical day for the rest of your day today.
Well, thank you, and same to you and your horses.
Oh, thank you so much. And I would like to thank all of our listeners for listening to this amazing, amazing show with our incredible diva, Lydia, Lady Epona. Please share this show with all your family and friends. Check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. And remember, if humans loved horses like horses loved humans, what a beautiful world this would be, full of peace and abundance. And remember, be kind to all. Have a magical day. Give your animals a great big extra hug and share all your love with them until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles. Stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.